Well, hello again and welcome to Monument Cycling's highlights of round 2 of the British Cycling National Circuit Series. Today we're in Ilkley for 1.5 kilometres of narrow and tight town centre racing. We were in Otley 2 days ago for round 1 and it was Frankie Hall then of Das Hutchinson Brother UK who took the series lead, sprinting to victory just ahead of her 2-up breakaway companion Danielle Watkinson of Jadon Vive la Velo Glasden. And it would be Watkinson who'd be the first rider to really put the pressure on, storming up the first climb of the day. No Emma Jeffers here today, but last year's winner Millie Cousins in the navy blue of fenix-deceuninck was once more out in force. This time the only rider from her team with Flora Perkins, who was second last year, not returning to today's race. And Cousins would waste no time in pushing the pace at the front, but we would also see Ailey Shaw in the white Scottish National Champions jersey as she returned from illness after an absence in Otley 2 days ago. Pro Noctis 200 Degrees, Coffee Hargreaves, Contracting's Joe Tindley and Amy Gornall were both heavily present at the front. Tindley 6th and Gornall 7th in last year's race, clearly both eager to better their previous results on the same roads, working heavily to keep the pace on at the front as the 90-strong bunch whittled down to about just 35 by the halfway point of the race as Loughborough Lightning's Jenny Hull, 12th at the National Crit Champs last week, just stayed clear of Cousins on the sprint lap. After this, a group of 5 riders would try and chip off the front. Das Hutchinson Brother UK and also Dulcini O'Shea represented on the front again along with Cousins. But these 5 would be shortly brought back as we'd see another few solo attacks off the front. Ship de Mapex was often seen at the front again today, but only fielded 2 riders with the National Junior Time Trial and Road Race, both scheduled over the next 2 days. But next, it was Millie Cousins, defending champion from last year, who'd send a blistering attack off the front to go solo with just over 4 minutes to go before 5 laps was to be shown. And Cousins would pull out a huge gap on the bunch behind, as on the narrow roads a cooperative chase would struggle to form. Series leader and winner of round 1 Frankie Hall of Das Hutchinson would attack the bunch and go clear, to be joined by Lizzie Hermole of Team Boompods for a couple of laps. But both again would be swallowed up by the bunch as Cousins, still off the front and able to pick her own line smoothly through all the turns, extended her lead to over 10 seconds as we came into 5 laps to go. She continued to work hard on the narrow lanes to get a little bit more out of sight and maybe a bit out of mind, as over the next couple of laps and into 3 to go she extended her lead to a whopping 30 seconds on the chasing peloton behind. And with only a few kilometres of this race to go then, it looked all but a closed deal for Cousins at this point, having raced a perfectly defensive and then perfectly attacking race. Into 2 laps to go and her gap would extend to 40 seconds. Das Hutchinson Brother UK's Frankie Hall was back in the bunch behind as the team would be looking to retain the overall series lead in what would surely come down now to a sprint for the last 2 spots on the podium. Coming into the finish then, and Millie Cousins, defending champion in Ilkley, had time to savour the victory and take in the cheers from the crowd as she made it 2 for 2 on the anniversary of her win here last year. From a sprint victory in 2023 to a solo win in 24, it couldn't really have been much different today as the class of the 20-year-old rider for fenix-deceuninck shone through once again. And as the sprint for second place lit up behind it was Das Hutchinson Brother UK who'd lead the charge, this time with Robin Clay crossing the line 43 seconds back on Cousins to take second place, with Dulcini O'Shea's Isabel Darvel rounding out the podium in 3rd. Thanks ever so much for watching and we'll see you again soon.